So you got a standard position that's like this. Okay,
Whoa.
okay, yeah. So
Leveled up.
I've leveled up, man. I really have. Okay, what Turbo used to always do is come like this. Right here, if you go and you push out, what I've noticed is that this running forward like this is a layer. The only time this is ever appropriate if it's solid 50. Okay, but what I've seen a lot of people do is they come in at this diagonal. So they notice, okay, nothing's going to materialize here. And first of all, it's weird to me because low elo up until GC3, even at GC1 and GC2 games, this is why it's so difficult for me, because when I'm third man and I'm on my initial breakout, you know, so my initial breakout, we run from a defensive stature, you know, where you got something like this, and then we morphed into this. Okay, now on this case, if somebody tries to drop it down like this, the second man is going to be reading this on defense. So let's say the first man's out of the picture. You got something like this. Okay, this drop is not a threat because if the guy tries to shoot, this guy's got it covered, and if he tries to pass it, he's still got it covered because it's really easy to read. All he has to read is his car. You know, if he's got the ball right here. If he's got it like this, then it looks like a shot. But if he's got it like this, then it's probably a pass. So he's reading that. You know, it's very easy to read, you know, just on the way that the ball is. If it's something like that, it's probably a pass. If it's something like, and you know, it's not like he can correct himself and go, he can't really do it. So in other words, he's pretty much committing to this. So it's very, very, very easy to read. And I see way too many people try to force it. And look at their angle, man. It's like, dude, how the fuck are you going to get it through that guy? You know? The only times I've ever seen that happen is when this guy outright whiffs and they go under and this guy forced high. In that case, that's a whole nother thing that we got to get into, but we'll escape that for now. As third man, it makes your job a lot harder, okay? Because what happens is now you got one guy dove, two guy dove. This never works because front post and defense always has tighter rotations. This guy clears it into here, and then you're going to have something like this first man that's here as a target player sometimes, because sometimes he was just rotating out. Like he hit this 50, he's rotating out right here, and then sometimes they just the guy forces it, two guys are out, and this lands here, and then this guy sees that, books it mid, and now you're in a 2v1. It's like, do you early challenge? No, because then he could just play it over or pass it. So you can't early challenge, but then you got a guy hunting for a demo on you. Or he's maintaining a passing option. So now you put your back to the ball and you play shadow defense at this point, which is already beat, technically. You don't want to do this. You don't want to play shadow defense. And that's a whole nother lesson on itself, too. Okay? Right here, as soon as that happens, now you're in a 2v1. So this layering system is dead, okay? So a lot of people manifest this same movement into twos by doing this, okay? Now, sometimes it's appropriate. The time it's appropriate is to do this. You need to almost, like, draw. You need to be drawing this right here and playing, and watch how this changes. Watch how this changes. We're gonna pick it up at some point. Oh, it's right here, literally in the beginning. Notice this. So notice your cut it. This is fine. You're technically the 1 to 3. You know, so like if you're in a threes match, you technically have a guy here like this,
right?
You know,
which is I think that's where like most of the rotations come from, for me at least, right? Because I play more threes than twos generally.
Right. So you got this down, but the problem is you put your back to the ball. What I'm advising you to do is this. You go forward like this, and you wait, and you could push past this midline, that's fine, and you know, apply pressure. If you want, you could do this even too, and then force it up the wall, but what you have to do is then fix your spacing again, and go back here. You know, something on this line. You see what I mean? And then you go up for it. Then it's easier. Cause see, now you're now look at where you're facing. You're facing towards your own net. So if anything, even if you go and you clear it, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be a soft touch back into the mid. When you want to do is try to hit it tight in the corner.
Right.
The details matter. The details matter, even in high elo. Okay, I have to have it down to a fucking inch as a coach, because if I didn't have it down to the inch as a player, I was running against fucking, you know, 72 pin connector back when Rogue just released what's his face, Wonder, and Jacob and fucking Wonder were doing this shit on me, dude. Where I would fucking mess up just a tiny bit, I'd have some iteration of this, even in my games, I'd smack it against. Jacob saw the disposition, and he would just fucking throw it top shelf into my guys, no missing.
Good old Cobb.
You need to make sure that you don't overcommit. This is an over rotation, and now you're backwards. You want to be goal side, which means goal side means in between the ball and the goal, you know. So this is behind the play as a defender, because you're against your own net, you know. But here you're looking for a clear. That's goal side, you know. Going forward like this, and then doing this is totally fine. In fact, I see that, I've started to do this movement a lot. It's very, very good to kind of check to mid. And then if you want to rotate out. And if you want, I'm going to show you even Old Faithful. I think you know the replay that's happening here, because this is just an absolute perfect demonstration.
That was such an underrated SSG team, too.
Oh, yeah. AXB, Arsenal.
I thought he did. AXB filled the role on SSG better than most people can fill a role.
Okay. Watch how he cuts in here. Look here. So Chicago lands a full beat on the AXB. It's bouncing in such a way that maybe Chicago can land a volley off the wall, and then maybe look to maybe flip reset AXB or something like that, which he tries right here. Volley doesn't work. Look, so now he's dispossessed. It's a free clear into AXB. So what does he do? He checks mid. Checks mid, checks mid, checks mid. He's checking mid like this, but he's below these pads. And this allows you that when you allow yourself these pads, okay? When you allow yourself these pads, it gives you the opportunity that you can slalom around. So you can go forward like this if you want, or you can go back and then fix your space. See,
Right.
what coaches have it wrong. Coaches think that you need to push forward and then play shadow defense. What's in fact happening is you're playing on a half turn. You're on a half turn here, you know? You're on a half turn with going forward and then going this way if you need to.